Cracking Google isn't easy, right? I recently joined Google as a software engineer 3, and in this video, I'll explain the interview process, my preparation strategy, and few of the mistakes that one should avoid while preparing for Google. Stay until the end of the video, and I'll share some of the secret tips that has helped me crack Google. Hey everyone, I'm Anubhav. I have been working as a software engineer for over 4 years now. I have previously worked with companies like Amazon, Walmart, and few other startups. I have experience in cracking some big tech giants like Uber, Microsoft, Google, some of the startups. Other than this, I have mentored 500 plus students and many working professionals to crack tech interviews or to switch from a service-based company to a product-based company. Let's now discuss the most important part of the video, my preparation strategy. I was given 4 weeks of time. In the first week, just to get back in shape, I started solving NeetCode 150 and Blind 75 problems. I majorly focused on revising DSA concepts so that I can recall what I have learned in past. In the second week of time, I started solving Google Tag problem on LeetCode. And yes, I know it's a premium feature of it, but I was able to find a GitHub repo which maintains and updates all the company tag problems for free. And I've added that URL in the description. In my third week of time, I started solving only LeetCode medium and hard level problem. I also started discovering problems on LeetCode Discuss and Reddit. People anonymously share their interview experiences along with the problem that was asked to them in the interview. This really helped me to understand the kind of trend Google has in their recent interviews. This also helped me get insights whether to focus on graphs, dynamic programming, trees, or also to understand which part I'm lagging. I forgot to mention that I always had a timer running while solving any problem. Since Google interviews are strictly 45-minute style, it is very important to track your progress, like how much time you're taking to solve your problem. I see generally you will get around 20 to 25 minutes of time after discussion and discussing the approach. You'll roughly have 20 minutes of time to implement the solution. So that was the time I was targeting to solve any medium or hard level problem. Now, by the end of 4th week, I was able to solve around 350 problems in total. I also availed Google free mock interview with a Googler in which I was asked a standard 2D problem, which I was able to solve in 45 minutes of time. And I got a positive feedback from it, which gained my confidence for the real interviews. Let's talk about my DSA rounds and some suggestions out of it. Each DSA round lasts 45 minutes, with about 5 to 10 minutes spent on introduction and final discussions, leaving you roughly with 35 minutes for solving the problem. Start by understanding the problem and reiterate your understanding to the interviewer. Validate it with multiple input-output examples to ensure clarity. Try to relate the problem to concept you have solved before, and this can help in quickly identifying an approach. Before jumping directly into coding, discuss your approach in detail, cover both happy and corner edge cases with your interviewer. Now, if the interviewer is satisfied with your approach that you have discussed so far, and do not forget to mention the time and space complexity before writing. And now some tips around effectively communicating with your interviewer. While coding, avoid long silences. Keep explaining your thought process, which is called think out loud while solving. So whenever you are solving, try to explain what you're going to write line by line. Try to add comments in your code. Try to name variable as close to the functionality of it. Don't name variables such as XYZ or ABC. Try to keep meaningful function names so that it describes what this function or variable does or it holds. Use any programming language that you are most comfortable with. For me, it was Java. Now, if you forget a specific implementation detail, let's say there was a question where you had to implement binary search on trees. In such cases, you can leave some comment and mention that you will come back to it later rather than spending time and recalling it how to implement. You can focus on the rest of the approach. Now, writing 3-4 lines in plain English before actually starting the code can really help you make your approach cleaner to the interviewer. This is called pseudocode. Keep your code modular, structured well to improve readability and maintainability of the code as if you are writing a production ready code. Do not forget to dry run your solution using some test cases, preferably a test case from your own. Now, if there's another approach to solving the problem, mention it. Try to express as much as possible to the interviewer. Try to show that you really have in-depth knowledge of the problem that is being asked or the topic of the discussion. It's always good to discuss multiple approaches. And now, the problem format is not fixed for anyone. For SWE3, especially, you can either expect 2 medium problem or 1 hard problem or 1 easy problem with difficult follow-ups. Now, one very important point to mention. Google uses Google Doc for problem solving during their interviews. We all know Google Doc doesn't support syntax highlighting or displaying keywords in different colors like our local IDs does. All of us are habited of using either local ID or some online editor. During your practice time, try to solve on Google Doc. Try to practice how to solve problems without autocompletion or without syntax highlighting. It might look very odd, but this is how it is done. You won't be able to execute the code. You can only write it. And now once you are done, don't directly jump into saying that I'm done or I'm finished. Rather, spend some time in doing some manual testing, some dry run, which we discussed. Maybe then start with some input scenario, analyze it, and then take another test case, verify your logic, that if it's working fine. Only when you are super confident, then only say that, yes, I'm done with my implementation. Remember, execution isn't an option. So your focus should be on correctness and clarity of your solution. Let's now discuss some final advices and my secret tips that has helped me crack Google in a way that you can stand out from other candidates. Point 1. Don't just solve problem. Learn how to communicate through your thought process. Think out loud while solving, which will help you in delivering your thoughts and maintain effective communication between you and your interviewer. That's something that practice daily while solving coding problems. Point 2. Try to give as much as mock interviews as possible, or at least 4 before your final interviews. I extensively used Exponent peer-to-peer mock interview feature where random people comes on a platform and gives interviews. If you know someone inside Google, ask them a favor to take a mock interview of yours. Try to pick a mock interview from their TopMate profile, which will be a paid version, but if you can afford that piece of money, definitely go for it. Third, spend time in learning and solving advanced level topics such as segment tree, Fenwick tree for range updates, dynamic programming with space optimization techniques, DSU, line sweep, which is nothing but difference array method algorithm. DP on trees, a very famous problem from this topic is rerouting DP problem, which was asked to me in one of my interviews. So that's how I cracked Google SWE3 interview. If you're also preparing for a Google interview, I hope this video will definitely help you. Don't forget to subscribe for more tech and career growth related content. Thanks. See you in the next video.